start for Martin. Throw complete to Marshall Faulk. He's out of bounds with a first down. Up near the 38, 17-yard pickup on first down. A quick look at the defense for the 49ers. Come in 7th in the NFL. Up front, they believe they can get enough push up front. Rushing only 4. There are the linebackers, and they're going to miss Jamie Winborn, who's out today, and the secondary will be tested. We are in San Francisco, the Rams and the 49ers, and it's a first down for St. Louis after a 17-yard completion. The first play of the day to Marshall Faulk. From their own 38, delayed handoff to Faulk. Running over the right side, he crosses the 40. Knocked down near the 43, a gain of 5, and it was Wk5 on the stop. Now you guys can talk. If you want to talk, jump in.
I thought you were going to do the whole broadcast today. You're right from this right to baseball, carry us all the way through the season. You know, it's a good start, though. Anytime you have a new quarterback in the lineup, why not get the ball to number 28, Marshall Faulk, a couple of times. Let him get Jamie Martin settled, and good way for this offense to get off the ground.
No change in the multiple shifts and sets. Even with Jamie Martin at quarterback. Second down and 5. Quick throw and wide open. First down catch inside 49er territory, and it's Isaac Bruce who always comes to play against San Francisco.
Well, he really does, and over the past several games he's had big games against the 49ers, and right here Jamie Martin has some time to throw the football, and Isaac Bruce is just running a slant route into the void in that zone and does a nice job of getting him the football. And last week, Jamie Martin comes in off the bench and plays very well in that ball game. 24 of 37, 65%, over 200 yards passing. Thought he did an excellent job.
From the 49er 42. Hand off to Faulk. Nothing this time as the 49er defense finally stands up. Gain of only a couple over the left side. Jamie Martin is more of a dink and dunk type quarterback, but really that's all the Rams have been running with Warner at quarterback so far. Now we have some members of a new audience that are joining us here in San Francisco. There are the people in charge of bringing you today's action. Opening drive of the game, and the Rams started at their own 20. They're at the San Francisco 41. Jamie Martin waits, finds his man, has Ricky Prohl. He has not thrown an incompletion so far, and Prohl has a first down at the 49er 19-yard line, a gain of 21.
That time you get Ricky Prohl matched up one-on-one against the safety and Tony Parrish. And so far, Troy, this has looked more like the Rams offense of last year than what we've seen so far this year. Their protection is holding up. We've seen the 4 wide receiver set. We've seen the 2 tight end set, multiple formations, multiple fronts, moving around out there. Looks great on this first drive.
Crowd is trying to stay in it as the Rams have a first down at the 19. Play action over the middle. Pass is knocked down. Well played by Derek Smith, the middle linebacker.
Yeah, well, Jamie Martin's fortunate that that ball wasn't intercepted. Derek Smith, the linebacker for the 49ers, does a nice job of recognizing the route. You see him there. He gets a hand on it. Jamie Martin tried waiting up on him to get him the football, but just really nowhere to throw the ball on that play.
If he could have waited just another second, it was going to pop open to the outside. Just had to get rid of the football.
Second down and 10. The pocket holds up. The throw for Faulk, incomplete. Faulk saying he was interfered with and basically forced out of bounds. Holman had the coverage. It's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, and the thing that has surprised me so far in this first drive is that the 49ers have come out and played these wide receivers for the Rams. A lot of cover one, man-to-man, singled up on the outside. That's not something that the Rams have grown accustomed to seeing during these first 4 games of the season. They've seen a lot of the zone, the cover 2 coverage we've talked so much about. But on this drive, the 49ers have been isoing the receivers one-on-one.
movement for the Rams on their offensive line, and that should cost St. Louis 5 yards.
False start. Offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Timmerman offside. But Troy, to get back to the point that you just made, this is a football team that if you're going to play man coverage in the secondary, you're expecting to get pressure on the quarterback. And so far, the Rams offensive line, the much maligned Rams offensive line, has been doing the job.
I know they got a couple defensive ends for the 49ers, Wk5 and Carter, who do a heck of a job putting pressure on the quarterback. So far, they've not been able to get near him.
Handoff to Marshall Faulk. Back near the original line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up a 4th down, a gain of only 3. So Jeff Wilkins in the field goal unit. And Jeff has struggled this season. Will trot onto the field and try to put the Rams on top.
And I think we're witnessing the new conservative Mike Martz. You wonder if Kurt Warner was playing right there, even though it is 3rd and long and the odds of converting that aren't real good. Would he in fact try to make that play? And I think right now, when you've got a guy who's as young as Jamie Martin as far as playing time, probably a very good call, just running the ball and trying to get out of this with a field goal.
38-yard try for Wilkins. 4 out of 7. And now 5 out of 8. So Wilkins and the Rams on top. Good start for Jamie Martin and the Ram offense.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 37.
Certainly doesn't feel like San Francisco. It is going to be near 90 degrees here today. The A's are playing. The Giants will play tonight, and that'll be on Fox. You look at the scoring drive, 9 plays covering 60 yards. And Martin starts his day 3 out of 5 for 54 yards. Wilkins kicks it away. This is Jackson. He gets to the 24 where he's smacked by Sorensen. And here's Jeff Garcia, who has really struggled against the St. Louis Rams. You look at what he's done against the Rams compared to what he's done against other teams around the National Football League. 0-5 the overall record against St. Louis.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a monkey on his back not having beaten the Rams, and in talking with him on Friday, he made a good point. Not a lot of teams have beaten the Rams over the last 3 years, and it just so happens that Jeff Garcia has taken over the controls of this Niner offense right at the time that the Rams have gotten very, very good.
From their own 23, Garcia is going to start with a throw. Out in the flat, it's his fullback Beasley. And he's knocked out of bounds by Dre Bly. We look at the offensive line for the San Francisco 49ers. They are still a very athletic group, and it's Eric Heitman getting the start at left guard in place of Dave Fiore, who's out for the year with a knee injury he suffered 2 weeks ago, their last game against Washington. Hurst and Beasley, the 49er fans know, we'll see plenty of Kevin Barlow. And then the wide receivers Stokes and Owens. The tight end is a good one, Eric Johnson.
Yeah, and here's Owens right here.
On 2nd down, that's Garrison Hurst. Big hole, right side, open field. Herring, the only man back for St. Louis, and he runs him out of bounds inside the 35.
Well, Derek Deese last week went into Steve Mariucci and he said, Coach, we're not throwing the ball very well. How about if we take a turn running the ball? Then they come out against the Redskins 2 weeks ago, they had the bye week, and started blowing some people off the ball. This is what has made the San Francisco 49ers a good offense last season and over the last couple of years. Not their ability to throw the ball. They've been efficient with that, but they've been terrific running the ball, and now they're getting back to it.
A 40-yard gain by Garrison Hurst. And now Garcia out of the shotgun with no one behind him or with him. Steps up, throws over the middle, hits Owens. He's got a 1st down for San Francisco inside the Ram 20.
Yeah, and the Rams tried pulling out right here. Big grease. Pickett, they tried dropping him out on a zone dog, get him underneath, and he's right in the area where Owens was coming across, and he's just not able to make that kind of play against a receiver like Owens. But Garcia using his feet, moving around, and being able to find Terrell and get him the football.
14-yard completion to Owens. Big rush on Garcia, throws and out of the reach of Johnson, his tight end. Let's look at the defense for St. Louis. You know, when you think about it, there have been as many question marks around this Ram defense as there have been around the Rams offense. The Rams ended the year last year ranked 3rd in the NFL. They've been getting very little out of the middle of their pass rush up front, the tackle spot. Robert Thomas gets the start at outside linebacker, rookie pick out of UCLA. And the defensive backs, they are without Aeneas Williams, who had started 177 consecutive games. 2nd down and 10 for San Francisco. And the handoff. That's Garrison Hurst. He gets to the 15. Gain of 4, and Jamie Duncan made the stop for St. Louis.
We're already seeing the Rams defense adjust to what the 49ers are doing on that last down. On 1st down, Adam Archuleta run blitzing to try and slow down the rushing attack of the 49ers because it was an incomplete pass. Then they were able to fall back into their pass defense, which is that cover 2 approach, which they're most comfortable with.
It's 3rd down and 6 for the 49ers. No opening drive touchdowns in their last 20 games. Garcia rolling right, has pressure and throws in the direction of Owens, but incomplete. Good coverage downfield and good pressure on Jeff Garcia.
Yeah, it was good coverage, and Terrell Owens, he's definitely going to get vocal with the officials. He's going to get vocal with his teammates. He has been for the last several weeks. That's just good coverage. Real good coverage right there by Dre Bly. And I'm not sure what Terrell Owens is complaining about. Certainly no pass interference on that call.
And you'll probably be able to tell who's going to win this game today, who wins the battle between Dre Bly and Terrell Owens. It's going to be one-on-one all day.
Cortez trying to answer. 33-yard try is drilled. So each offense takes the ball, goes down the field, and settles for 3 points. 8:28 left, first quarter.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be. By IBM, e-business is the game, play to win. By Toyota, get the feeling. And by Budweiser, delivering beer at its best with a crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers.
Under 8.5 to play in this first quarter. Garrison Hurst, a 40-yard run on that 7-play opening drive that put 3 points on the board thanks to Jose Cortez, who will kick it away for the 49ers. That's Wilkins. Far sidelines and out of bounds at the 23. So Wilkins with the return. The Rams, their second chance on offense. Jamie Martin heads back to work. This is week 5 of this 2002-2003 NFL season. A 3-3 score. The Rams have the ball with a first down at their own 23. Delayed handoff, Marshall Faulk, and it is obvious as Faulk runs into a wall. Got a yard and a half, maybe 2. Stubblefield was in the middle of it to make the stop for San Francisco. That we're going to see a lot of Marshall Faulk trying to help out and take some of the pressure off Jamie Martin. Some of the early game headliners, Rich Gannon, and the Oakland Raiders are now 4-0. Jerry Rice caught one of those touchdowns from Gannon. Patrick Ramsey, can he be a lift for that fun and gun offense in Washington? And Keyshawn Johnson. We know that Keyshawn is now going to be happy for the rest of the day after a 6-catch day for over 130 yards.
Maybe a half an hour.
Right. Second down. Martin throws, and it's incomplete. Out of the reach of Holt. Andre Carter with pressure on Jamie Martin.
Yeah, and Andre Carter, you watch him right here working against Grant Williams, and really he's got his move is his speed move. I mean, he's not an overpowering guy, but he can get around defensive or offensive tackles with his speed. And last week he went against Chris Samuels for the Washington Redskins and probably had his best day of his short NFL career. And he's been doing a nice job of getting off the edge and putting pressure on these quarterbacks.
Pressure on Martin on 3rd and 9. Has time and now flips it forward. Marshall Faulk with the reception, and he's got a Ram first down, and a rather inventive, cool play by a guy who's making only his 2nd start.
Well, this is what's so valuable about a Marshall Faulk. He's going to chip and help Grant Williams on Carter on the outside, and then really with no responsibilities left, now he's going to leak out late. You just flip him the football, and here you go, pick up a first down.
It's nice for Jamie Martin having a guy like Marshall Faulk in the backfield with him, obviously as a runner, but boy, those things right there, when a quarterback is under duress and know where you're going to have your guys and be able to get them the football in those situations, great comfort for the quarterback.
And off to Faulk. A lot of Marshall Faulk. He crosses the 35, gets to the 37, a gain of 3. Let's go down the coast and check in with James Brown with a game break.
Hey, Joe, I'm sure Troy wouldn't want to see this happening. Take a look at Doug Johnson in for the injured Mike Vick. Pass is tipped by Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp takes it, laterals it to Derek Brooks. This is the play of the day. Brooks' 3rd touchdown of the season, 2 more than Keyshawn Johnson. Bucks D lead the way by 14. Joe, Troy, and Chris.
Thank you, James Brown. So a 4-1 record for Tampa Bay.
JB's stirring it up back there.
2nd down and 7, and the pass incomplete. There was time for help from Tony Parrish with Torrey Holt, the intended receiver.
Yeah, on that play right there, Jamie Martin really does a nice job of delivering the football, and here you take a look at it in sync, and Torrey Holt working up inside. Tony Parrish, the safety right there, is going to be the guy who knocks away, but Torrey Holt has got to move back towards the quarterback. He stands there waiting on the ball to come to him. If he takes a couple steps back downhill towards Jamie Martin, that's a completion.
3rd down and 7. Blitz coming. Rams pick it up. Isaac Bruce, incomplete. Well covered by Webster. There's a penalty flag on the far side of the field, and the Rams are saying it's against San Francisco.
Illegal use of the hands, hands to the face, defense number 24. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Mike Rumpf, the rookie.
Well, that's essentially a turnover right there. You make that kind of a mistake on 3rd down, your team's going to get the ball back via the punt. And Mike Rumpf, the #1 pick, who was almost specifically taken as the additional corner to try and match up against this Rams offense. Obviously, the 49ers coming into this season thinking if they could just beat the Rams, they could at least win this division.
Yeah, and a few players. The linebacker this year they drafted, Salim Rashid. It's a guy that they drafted because of his speed, a guy who they felt could match up well with Marshall Faulk. A lot of things happening with the Niners personnel in order to meet up with these guys with the Rams.
First down now for St. Louis, and a give to Faulk. A little cutback and a minimal gain on first down. He got 3.
I just can't get over how much better this San Francisco defense is than what it was a couple of years ago. Went back and looked up some of the numbers. 99-2000, this team averaged 27 points a game that they allowed on defense. Were really terrible. Had no corners, had no pass rushers. Since then, they've really addressed that, and over the last 2 seasons now, averaging just 17 points a game, Jim Mora and his defensive staff have really turned this thing around.
Tell you what, the defense better get better. Last 4 drafts, 11 of the 13 players they've picked the first 3 rounds have been defensive players. Over the middle, Prohl had to wait for it, incomplete. Tony Parrish got a hand in to break it up.
Well, what I'm seeing right now is there are some people running open in the secondary right now, but Jamie Martin has not been able to just unload the football. And you take a look here, Prohl's going to be working here to the middle, and he's got a chance, but it's got to be turned loose. And that's one of the things that you lose, the timing aspect of it when you haven't been playing. And going into this week, I was wondering, last week when Jamie Martin got in the game, he didn't have time to really think about what was happening. He had to get in the game and react. He's had all week to prepare for this, and you wonder how that affects a quarterback in the fact that he has so much to think about.
3rd down and 7. Martin hit, incomplete. That's Andre Carter who gets up off Jamie Martin. He put the hit on, and Martin could not step into his throw.
Don't forget now, Orlando Pace is out of this game. Grant Williams is the guy that they're clearly going to work on. The stunt that time inside, bringing Carter around. And this young man has just really turned into a force. First 7 games of his career, only had 1 sack. The last 11, 8.5. He has become a real star player in this league.
Mitch Berger with his first punt of the day. Jimmy Williams waiting deep. Good punt from the 9-yard line. Williams gets to the 20, breaks 2 tackles, and gets it out to the 29-yard line. Good return by Jimmy Williams. And in a tie game, the 49er offense gets it back. Jim Hannafin looking at family photos with the offensive line. Under 5 to play in the first quarter. And the 49ers have it in a 3-3 game. First down throw from Garcia. Underthrown. Defending on the play was Fisher. J.J. Stokes, the intended receiver, 2nd and 10. What's coming up later? Well, the place may be empty now, people, but it will be shaking later tonight. Pac Bell Park for Game 4 of the division series between the Braves and the Giants. Tom Glavine, Livan Hernandez, and I'm sure Barry Bonds and all his friends in that San Francisco clubhouse are watching us. Yes, indeed. Here on Candlestick Point. And how about those St. Louis Cardinals anyway? The sweep. Did they win? 2nd down and 10. Hand off to Barlow. He gets it out to the 34. A gain of 5. And it'll be 3rd down for the 49ers. Kevin Barlow spent a lot of time this offseason working with Terrell Owens. He came into camp a season ago and had a lot of little nagging injuries, really didn't show what he was capable of. But when you watch him so far this season, and obviously sharing time in there with Garrison Hurst, a very powerful guy, and the offensive line really likes blocking for him because he brings it through that hole. 3rd down and 5. That's Owens in motion. Time runs out for Garcia. Throws and finds Terrell Owens with a San Francisco first down at their own 46.
That was a really good job there by Terrell Owens of working up the field and recognizing the zone coverage and sitting down in it. Garcia actually could have gotten him the ball a little bit earlier. You watch his feet. He likes to move around in the pocket. He starts moving up really when he didn't have to, but ultimately he's still able to spot Terrell Owens and find him the ball. You see Terrell's open there. It takes a half second longer for Jeff to get him the football because of him moving around in the pocket so much.
From their own 46, that's Barlow looking for room, and he finds it. He's got a first down, tripped up at the Ram 40 by Archuleta.
There's Eric Johnson, number 82 for the 49ers, and didn't really come here to the 49ers as a blocker, but yet he's effective. He stays with it. He's a scrappy guy. And then Owens, 81, he's out in front as well, and that's the kind of blocks you need. You're tied in order to be able to get out on the edge, and your wide receiver blocking downfield allows him to pick up some extra yards.
Already 64 yards on the ground for the 49ers. Garrison Hurst is split out wide to the left at the bottom of your screen as Barlow cuts it upfield. A nice gain. Scanina with a tackle. Gain of 5. Let's go to Los Angeles and check in with JB on a game break.
Hey, Joe, Oakland, as you well know, the league's #1 scoring offense. Here's one of their big plays today. Gannon, 69 yards to Charlie Garner, 49-31. They win it over Buffalo. Oakland now 4-0. Joe, Troy, Chris, and Pam.
All right, James Brown. Garner, a former 49er. So far, more of the same from San Francisco. They came in 7th in the league with their rushing attack. Garcia looking to set up a screen, and it was never there. Don Davis was riding the hip of Kevin Barlow.
And I like what the San Francisco 49ers are doing with their offense. I don't think there's any question today that they're going to try and run the football on the St. Louis Rams. And yet they're getting in these passing formations. They're going 3 wide receivers. The Rams are forced to counter with the nickel backs. And, of course, Aeneas Williams not in the game for the Rams. Dexter McCleon not in the game. So there's some secondary kind of guys right now in the game for the Rams that ordinarily aren't there. Then they're lining up, playing some power football, just running it right at this defense.
3rd down and 4, and Garcia will start with it out of the shotgun. Blitz. Garcia throws incomplete. It skipped to Owens, and a penalty flag as Tyoka Jackson may have been too rough with Garcia. He was.
Boy, it's such a tough call. Such a tough call to make. I don't really know what the defensive lineman is supposed to try to do. You watch Tyoka Jackson. He comes right up the gut, really untouched, and Garcia has nothing to do but try to get rid of it. He hits him up high. He wraps him up.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 97. Contact to the face mask of the quarterback. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
I mean, he doesn't lead with his head at all. He comes in, and actually that's the way, if you draw it up as far as what is legal for a defensive lineman as far as how they are supposed to tackle the quarterback, this is really how you would draw it up. I think that's a really bad call, and part of what led to that is they went with Garrison Hurst and Kevin Barlow in the backfield in a split back set, and neither one of those guys are real adept at blocking, and they didn't help out anything with Tyoka Jackson coming up the middle.
1:55 remaining in the first quarter. First down for San Francisco. That's Barlow. You can definitely tell a difference in the quickness between Barlow and Garrison Hurst. When Barlow's got the ball, everything just happens a lot faster. Hurst is more of a pick your way through the line and doesn't have that same sort of burst.
Well, and I would agree, and Barlow's got a little younger legs, but we were talking with the 49ers on Friday, and Jeff Garcia, and what he said to us is Barlow is a guy who they platoon these running backs, but Barlow is a guy who can come in from the first snap and really play effectively, whereas Hurst, he needs more and more carries to get going, and that becomes hard when you're platooning these guys.
2nd down and 9. Garcia out of trouble, finds Hurst. Hurst forces his way inside the 15 to the 13, a gain of 4.
You know, Jeff Garcia last week against the Redskins got criticized a lot for bailing out of the pocket, not trusting his linemen up front. But one of the things he does is something right here. He does get pressure there by Jeff Scanina, and him being able to move around and float around in the pocket and step up allows him to find his secondary receivers, in this case Garrison Hurst, for a completion.
And that's really what this 49ers offense has always been about. Joe Montana, Steve Young, now Jeff Garcia. They really want a mobile quarterback that can get around and make those plays so they don't have to keep maximum protection in there all the time.
It's 3rd down and 5. Blitz again from St. Louis. Quick throw, wide open Stokes. A move, a touchdown. First of the year for the much maligned J.J. Stokes.
Well, we talked about it. J.J. Stokes had to show up, but you look right here, Adam Archuleta, 31 coming, and they pick it up, and it gives Garcia a chance to get rid of the football.
Oh, you're talking about huge 49er wide receivers, too. By the time you get the football out here, and I believe that's Travis Fisher that he's working against. Travis Fisher, a little guy, a speed guy, working against J.J. Stokes, who's about 6'6" and about 215 pounds. Very difficult for him to make that tackle.
With 20 seconds left, San Francisco up 10-3. The most surprising development in the first quarter. Troy Aikman thought that hit on the quarterback was a bad call. San Francisco's up by 7. San Francisco up 10-3. They get the early lead and now force Jamie Martin and the Rams to come back. A 9-play scoring drive covering 71 yards. Stokes, the 13-yard touchdown catch. And then you see that bottom line after the Tyoka Jackson penalty on 3rd down, and we're split up here in the booth as to whether that was a good call or a bad call, and we'll show it to you after the kickoff as Terrence Wilkins waits deep for St. Louis, and Jamie Martin is contemplating. what they need to do offensively to get the ball down the field. 20 seconds left in the first quarter. Good deep kick from Cortez, one of his best. A reverse, fake reverse, and Wilkins keeps it and goes nowhere. Does not even make it back to the 20. Knocked down at the 18. Frank Strong made the hit, and we go back to that key play.
The question is, did Toyoka's Jackson's helmet hit Jeff Garcia's? His helmet hit his face mask 100% of the time. They're going to call that. Every time. Doesn't matter what we think about it. Is it right? Is it wrong? That's what they're going to call.
I don't know that they do call it every time. I know how the rule reads and what they're trying to do to protect the quarterback, but to me right there, he is coming in at his chest level, and if you're saying he hits a helmet anytime or the face mask anytime, then you can never make a tackle on a quarterback for a sack.
Little inside toss to Marshall Faulk, and a good play. Right in the middle of it was the big arm of Jim Flanagan, and he brings down Marshall Faulk for no gain. That will be the final play of the first quarter. Jamie Martin and the Rams offense down by 7. Good start for San Francisco in a game they really want. 10-3 after 1. Here are the 49ers trying to snap a 6-game losing streak to the St. Louis Rams. They've got a record of 2-1, sitting on top of the division at the start of the day. And like we talked about in the open, and I know a lot of new audiences have joined us since then, the 49ers kind of tiptoed into this game a little bit because all signs point to a 49er victory. You've got an 0-4 struggling Rams team playing without Kurt Warner, the league MVP, playing without Orlando Pace and Aeneas Williams, to say nothing of James Hodgins, their big fullback, who they really miss more than people realize. 2nd down and 10. On a slant, first down catch by Isaac Bruce. And as we look at the way this game has unfolded, I thought it was a decent start by Jamie Martin. You see him go down the field, opening drive, started out hot. But again, you go back to the defense, and the Rams defense gives up a ton of big plays.
But it's also on the Rams offense. It's what we've been seeing all season long. Yes, they've been going pretty well between the 20s, but they haven't been converting and scoring touchdowns, and that's just not like the Rams.
It's a first down after the completion to Bruce. Hand off to Faulk, running right. Bounces outside. Marshall Faulk down the sidelines and out of bounds inside 49er territory. Tony Parrish finally forced him out, and that's like Marshall Faulk from 2 years ago. That thing looked like it was going nowhere.
Well, that's really what they got to try to do more of. They need to get the ball into Marshall Faulk's hands in the running game. I know they tried to in the passing game, but you watch, really there's nowhere to go with this football right here, and he's able to bounce out and get outside, and not great blocking by that offensive line. They have struggled in that area, but Marshall Faulk, as oftentimes that he does, he's able to make them look better by making runs like that.
And Troy, in my expert opinion, I'd say he's pretty good.
This just in. Very good.
24 yards on that gain. First down from the San Francisco 45, and Martin has it knocked down. It's an incomplete pass. No doubt that the arm was going forward when Stubblefield made the hit and ended up with a football. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and Dana Stubblefield, he's doing a much better job of getting back there and getting some pressure on the quarterback. He's primarily a run guy, but you see him coming up inside and is able to get a hand on the ball, and good call by the officials on the incompletion.
Stubblefield getting a little more upfield push lately in his 10th year out of Kansas. He and Bryant Young have remained. Stubblefield, the guy who back in '95 said the same old sorry Rams when the 49ers went in and won the last football game played at Busch Stadium. Lamar Gordon, nothing. Back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. 3rd and 10 coming up for St. Louis.
There are a lot of explanations for why the Rams are 0-4, and you talk about problems with their offensive line. You talk about the injuries to Kurt Warner and Aeneas Williams and Orlando Pace. The one injury that very rarely gets talked about is their fullback, James Hodgins. And he was such an important part of the running game. This was an offense that last year was #1 in yards per attempt. This year they've fallen all the way to 15th, and I think that's a big reason why.
Third and 10. Martin throws to the sideline. Marshall Faulk not going to make a move and get anywhere this time. Brought down about 6 yards shy of a first down. Pressure by Wk5.
Yeah, you can see where they're just struggling again. They're just trying to find themselves. And to go back with what you said, Chris, and James Hodgins, and I agree, they do miss him. But unfortunately, when they do run the ball, it's just not one guy. It's not that linebacker that Hodgins would be blocking that's creating the problem for them. And they just have been unable to get any kind of push up front to get any kind of running lanes for Marshall Faulk and or Lamar Gordon and Trunk Canada when those backs have had a chance to run the football, but just not much movement up in that front line.
Mitch Berger's been the Rams' most consistent player so far. Who would have ever thought that would be uttered about a Rams punter? What a good play on special teams by Yo Murphy. He keeps it in the field of play, and the 49ers will have to start with it at their own 4. Yo Murphy downfield, kept it out of the end zone. Good play. Good coverage by the Rams special teams.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Microsoft, providing software for the agile business. By Volkswagen, on the road of life there are passengers and there are drivers. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. And by Coors Original, real golden beer, the official sponsor of Guys Night Out.
2 long drives for the 49ers, who coming into this game had yet to really kick it into gear offensively. Looked like there was movement by the 49er offensive line.
False start. Offense. Number 66. This penalty will be assessed half the distance to the goal. Remain.
Go back to Yo Murphy's play. I've seen a lot of people try and make this play. So many people miss it. It's almost cliche, but that is just the best I've ever seen. I've never seen a guy make a better play right on the end line than that.
Heitman was guilty of the procedure. And now on first down, Stokes. J.J. Stokes already has 1 touchdown, stumbling forward and brought down inside St. Louis territory. 51-yard catch and run by J.J. Stokes.
Well, we talked about it at the beginning of the game. J.J. Stokes is going to have to step up in this one. You watch Jeff Garcia. He has to put everything he's got on that one to get the ball there. And J.J. Stokes is able to bounce off a couple of defenders. You see him here. He's working again against, looks like Fisher. Gets on down there and then tries to get some blocks. You see Terrell Owens trying to get downfield. And really a nice throw by Jeff Garcia.
Ray Bly checks out of the lineup for St. Louis. On first down, it's Garrison Hurst. Falls forward for 3.
And Terrell Owens ought to go over and give J.J. Stokes a kiss, because this is going to mean more to Terrell Owens than it does even to J.J. Stokes, because so far teams have been so conscious of trying to take away Terrell Owens. They're basically leaving the other side of the field to one-on-one situations with Stokes and Ty Streets and the other receivers. Now all of a sudden you start to hit a couple of passes over to Stokes. Now Terrell Owens will get a chance to work.
Well, what I like is the run after the catch. That's a part of this offense the last 3 weeks that they have not been able to be good at, is receivers catching the ball and then running with it afterwards.
Hand off to Garrison Hurst on second down. He's got a 49er first down at the Ram 35. Jamie Duncan made the tackle.
Fred Beasley with a perfect isolation block going right up the middle, just leading the way. This is exactly what you want out of your fullback. One-on-one, drive him out of the hole. Easy game.
So another big drive put on by the 49ers. And more big plays given up by the St. Louis defense. First down. Showing blitz. Rams come, and the 49ers pick it up momentarily. Wide open, Owens. First down, San Francisco inside the 20.
This is just an outstanding job by Jeff Garcia, hanging in the pocket, giving his guy time to get open. You watch him here. He takes pressure, takes a shot just as he's getting rid of the football, and he does it to hang in there and make the throw to Owens.
And what we've seen is that the Rams defense cannot stop the 49ers running game without bringing safety help up. That's leaving some guys one-on-one in the secondary.
Aeneas Williams sitting this one out with turf toe. The Rams no doubt missed the 7-time Pro Bowler. First down. Garcia finds Hurst. Brought down by Scanina. Inside the 15, a gain of 6.
Well, I don't know how long Jeff Garcia is going to make it through this one. He's gotten hit just about every time he's dropped back to throw the football. I recognize that this is a screen pass here, and you got to expect a little bit of pressure, but not every time do you have to go to the ground, and that's what happens here. And Jeff brings the pressure in and then gets the ball out to Hurst on the screen.
Pretty awesome looking drive so far by Jeff Garcia and the 49ers.
1 of 3 in this first half. Second down and 4. Garcia's going to run. First down. Good block by Owens to help Garcia pick up the first down.
Yeah, and outside here you got Derek Deese working against Grant Wistrom. You can see the job that he does, and he always knows that it's going to be a dogfight when he's going against Grant Wistrom. And then watch Terrell Owens. He gets turned around. He's expecting the pass. He gets wheeled around right there, makes the block on Don Davis. And I've been impressed so far with what these receivers have done, particularly Terrell Owens. That's a very unselfish act to get down the field and make blocks to help your teammates.
That last running play from Garcia, good for 6. Thinking about it. Touchdown. First rushing touchdown of the season for Jeff Garcia.
I think Jeff Garcia is feeling a little better this week than what he did in that game against the Washington Redskins. Of course, when the flu hit everybody, Garcia literally had to take himself out of the ball game just after halftime. But now we're getting a true taste for this 49ers offense. This is the first time all season we've seen them be effective in the first half of a ball game. Just a great first half so far.
The 49ers trying to have some fun as they attempt to break a 6-game losing streak against the St. Louis Rams. Garcia has thrown for 1 and now run for 1. 17-3. Great start for the 49ers offensively. Big plays this entire first half. J.J. Stokes, a sprain of his MCL in his right knee. His return is probable, they're telling us. Doesn't look too good over on the sideline as Terrence Wilkins has a lane to run. Good return by Wilkins all the way out to the Ram 40. So Stokes will go to the locker room, and Jamie Martin and the Ram offense in the worst possible position, trying to play catch up in San Francisco.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
The promo that features Yul Brenner and an organ. Big matchup next week on Fox, including the Packers and the Patriots. I'll be stepping aside, and Mr. Dick Stockton will slide right in next to Troy and Chris. That's next week, plus other regional games. It starts noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Fox. Good throw by Martin and a completion. Ricky Prohl has a St. Louis first down.
Key play in the last drive, of course, getting them off the end zone. The completion to J.J. Stokes, and he really has come up big in the first half. Of course, now out with the injury, but this is what the 49ers have been so desperate for, somebody else in this receiving corps to start making some plays.
7 minutes left in the first half. Martin throws, and he and Prohl weren't on the same page. Incomplete.
I think Ricky Prohl thought it was a running play. He never turned around. He did a release like he was expecting a pass, but never turned his head back.
Yeah, I know sometimes in this Rams offense they will have run plays called, but give the quarterback the freedom to come back and throw it. But you're right, Chris. He never got his head turned around as though he was expecting to be catching the ball.
7, 8, 9, 10.
2nd and 10. Throw and catch. First down, St. Louis. Right at the San Francisco 31, a gain of 19 on a completion to Holt.
And when you talk about Jamie Martin's strengths and some of the things that he does, he's a lot like Kurt Warner. Obviously, he's not a real mobile guy. You know, he's got good touch on the ball, pretty good velocity. But right here, he makes a great throw. He throws it over the linebacker level and is able to drop it in, and Torrey Holt's right there to make the reception. But Jamie Martin, he can make the throws. There's no question. A lot of people feel he could be a starter in this league for a team full time.
Getting his opportunity after the injury to Warner. Marshall Faulk brings it inside the 49er 30. Andre Carter made the stop.
And this really is the difference for me with this Rams team. Everybody talks about what they're doing wrong with the passing game and defense and all that. They just are not running the football the way they did last year, just as the 49ers have given this Rams defense fits because they've been able to establish a run and then go play action off of it. The Rams and Marshall Faulk just have not been able to really get it going on a consistent basis the way they have during this great run they've had.
Last season to this season, yards per rush. Martin trying to set up a screen. Good throw, but it's well covered as Marshall Faulk gets pounded. Rashad Holman first there for San Francisco. We go back to Los Angeles and check in on a game break with JB.
Hey, Joe Buck, it took Philadelphia a while, but they finally got on track late in the second. Donovan McNabb, first pump wasn't there. Second one was. That to Chad Lewis. 4-yard strike. Finally, Phillies on the board, nursing a 1-point lead over Jacksonville. Joe, Troy, Chris, and Pam.
James Brown, thanks. 3rd and 11 for the Rams as this crowd climbs into it. 5.5 to play. 17-3 San Francisco. They just got the play away. Over the middle, picked off. Intercepted by Parrish. Tony Parrish tripped up and falls down inside the Ram 35. Second interception of the season for the former Chicago Bear.
You see Ernie Conwell, he's right here. They keep him in to help with protection. That's been a concern of theirs all season long. And then you've got Jamie Martin, who just makes a poor throw. Poor decision, trying to get it to Ricky Prohl, and Tony Parrish is right there for the interception. Does a great job of running after he makes the catch.
And Troy, you know what this offense is all about. It's about timing. It's the quarterback releasing the football before the wide receiver gets to a spot. That time you saw Jamie Martin release the ball early. Ricky Prohl wasn't in that spot. Easy pickoff.
50-yard return after the interception by Parrish. And the quick throw, complete to Streets. Gain of 8.
Well, Ty Streets right there, if he's able to break that tackle, he's probably going to go in for a touchdown. And Ty Streets' development has been rather unique. In fact, going into training camp this year, they felt that he was going to be battling J.J. Stokes for the number 2 receiver. And as it's turned out, J.J. Stokes obviously held on to the number 2 spot, but now Ty Streets is starting to feel a little bit of pressure from Cedric Wilson for the number 3 spot. So they're looking for a little more consistency out of Ty Streets.
2nd down and 2. That's Barlow, and that's a first down at the Ram 21. Gain of 5.
One of the things that the 49ers wanted to take advantage of, Adam Archuleta, the safety for the St. Louis Rams, likes to creep up late and get into the run support situation, but he wants to disguise the coverage. Here he is right here. He wants to come up late. One of the things that the 49ers thought they could do was to go on an early snap count and beat him to the walk-up. And that time we were able to take advantage of it for a nice gain.
49ers already over 100 yards on the ground. On first down, dumped off to Hurst. Ryan Pickett made the tackle for the Rams, and he had help.
I think Terrell Owens is going to have a little conversation with Jeff Garcia when they get back to the huddle. Terrell Owens was standing down in the end zone and wasn't a real big crowd around him this time. That's about as open as Terrell Owens is ever going to get anymore. So he's going to slowly walk back and say, Mr. Garcia, we may want to think about that one again.
You think that's the first conversation he'll have with him? I think they've had a few conversations here in the last year or so.
Second down and 7. Handoff to Hurst. Trying to get to the corner. Don Davis was out there to make the hit. Third down coming up.
And really a big moment in the ball game now for this Rams defense. Their offense is not playing well, not able to put points on the board. You simply cannot let the 49ers stick this thing in and go up 24-3. Game essentially over at this point. We haven't seen the Rams defense, in my opinion, flying around, playing with the intensity that they did a season ago. Maybe it's London Fletcher, maybe the fact that Aeneas Williams is not out there. I'm not sure, but this just is not the same Rams defense we saw last year.
To a man, the Rams will tell you. And now the Rams are going to have to use a timeout. They weren't ready for that third down play.
St. Louis, this is their first joke.
The Rams will tell you that they miss London Fletcher more than they ever dreamed they would. Facing a third down when we come back. J.J. Stokes is out of the dressing room and on the sideline for San Francisco. They are telling us that he's going to try and continue playing with that sprained MCL in his right knee. The total yards in a 3rd and 3 for San Francisco. Already up by 14. Handoff to Garrison Hurst. Huge hole. First down San Francisco at the St. Louis 7.
I'll tell you, that's just really an outstanding call by Greg Knapp, their offensive coordinator, and spreading them out, coming with the draw play and getting one-on-one blocking up front, letting Garrison Hurst find his spot. Obviously the Rams thinking pass right here, and the quick hitter. Really nice job, Garrison Hurst, being able to get outside and pick up the first down.
First and goal from the 7. The throw to Owens. Bly couldn't bring him down, and Terrell Owens is out of bounds, possibly at the 2. See where they mark it. Right at the 2-yard line.
I think Dre Bly and Travis Fisher, two fairly small cornerbacks, have seen just about enough of Terrell Owens and J.J. Stokes. I mean, the physical mismatch is pretty tough to tell watching on television, but believe me, there's about 30 pounds difference between these wide receivers and the corners for the Rams.
2 minutes left in the half. San Francisco, 2nd and goal from the 2. San Francisco moving in for more points, up by a score of 17-3. 2 minutes left tonight. Starting at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, Game 4 between the Atlanta Braves, up 2-1, and the San Francisco Giants. The 49ers are having their way with the St. Louis Rams. You look at what's going on in Oakland. That's Game 5 of that division series, bottom of the 4th, and Minnesota leading Mark Mulder and the A's 2-1.
11.
Second and goal. To the corner of the end zone. Owens out of bounds.
I thought Dre Bly got away with a hold on that one.
Well, if you take a look at it, what they do here is they motion Terrell Owens down, and he's got one-on-one. That's one of the few chances you're going to get. Obviously, the mismatch in size, like you mentioned earlier, Chris, and I just think that as an offense, you have to be able to take advantage when you've got that.
And my mistake, he tried to hold him but missed. That's how the day's been going for the Rams. They can't even cheat when they want to.
I think when they motion Terrell Owens down inside, Terrell's got to allow himself more room for Garcia to throw the football.
3rd and goal, and the 49er offense is spread out. That's Garrison Hurst, and he runs into a wall. Lost yardage on the play. 4th and goal, good push up the middle, Brian Young. And the 49er crowd is saying go for it.
Yeah, and you can see Garcia, he wants to go for it, and Steve Mariucci's making no signs on the sidelines that they're going to do anything but go for it.
Well,
no way.
I can't believe they would even think about going for it.
You kick this field goal every time.
They're going to let the clock wind down and then use a timeout. But if you've got a chance here to make it 20-3, you're giving the Rams an opportunity to take some of the momentum back if you don't make it.
Well, you just wonder how much of 2 weeks ago against Washington, when players say, hey, Mariucci lacks that killer instinct, how much of that is coming into this decision. But I would have to agree, you've got to kick a field goal in this situation.
The 49ers are bringing their field goal team onto the field to try to make it 20-3. Coming up on the Visa halftime report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy will have scores and highlights from around the league, and the Fox Sports Ticker will keep you updated with up to the second stats.
And how about the catch by Jimmy Johnson today on the pregame show? Did you see that?
Well, not just one catch, but two.
Yeah.
And, Jimmy showed a little athleticism on that play. We'd run a little pat and go there before practices back when Jimmy was coaching us in Dallas, and I think he caught 2 more balls today than he ever caught in the 5 years he was with Dallas.
He was over?
He was an over, yeah.
Well, who do you have throwing to him back then?
You know, a couple guys, you know, myself and Steve Walsh, and, you know,
you're no
guys
Quincy.
with some pretty good arms, you know.
You're no Quincy Carter, but you're all right.
The old gang. 21-yard try by Cortez. Basically an extra point, and the field goal easy for the 49ers, who are up 17. 1:07 left in the first half. All San Francisco. A 20-3 score with 1:07 remaining, each side with 2 timeouts left in this first half. Marshall Faulk, part of the Ram offense put together by Mike Martz, and it has been misfiring all year. Now they've got the built-in excuse that Kurt Warner is out, Jamie Martin is in, but the offense was doing nothing with Kurt Warner at quarterback. Cortez kicks it away. Wilkins again. Took it from the 2. Gets to the 31. You look at the last 5 games that have counted. They've been held under 20 points 4 times. The previous 54 games, that had only happened 4 times. The last 5 games would include Super Bowl 36, when they scored 17 and lost 20-17 to the New England Patriots.
Yeah, and obviously it hasn't happened overnight. Their decline, they just, you know, in every game that we've done of theirs, they've just struggled. When they've had opportunities, they just failed to make them.
From their own 31, Martin throws, and the pass is caught for a first down. Second catch of the day by Torrey Holt.
There's no question they're going to try and work on Mike Rumph on the outside, the rookie out of Miami, every time they get a chance.
And he's out there again on Holt, to match up Mike Martz wanted. And they throw that way again. A catch is made, but a penalty flag on the play. Mike Martz said, try as you might to get that type matchup. It doesn't happen as often as those type of situations used to, but Holt has been matched up against Rumph.
Offside. Defense, number 96, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty remains, first down.
You know, and in talking with Jamie Martin on Friday, or actually yesterday, he said that in 2-minute offense, he has the full arsenal of plays, just like Kurt Warner would in these situations. And Kurt Warner today is signaling the plays. to Jamie Martin. You see him with the headset on there. He's calling the plays to Jamie Martin. There are times in 2-minute offense where there is time for the guy on the sidelines to give the quarterback on the field the play.
Blitz coming, and Martin is sacked. Jeff Ulbrich with his first sack of the season. And now we'll see how aggressive the Rams want to be with 20 seconds and counting remaining. They may just let this half come to a close, although they line up in the shotgun. Don't bother to use a timeout. They have 2 left. Dump it off, and it's picked off. Webster, touchdown, San Francisco, no flag.
Similar situation that happened last week in the Arizona-New York Giant game, and right now, Joe, you were right. They were just really trying to run this thing out. They've got a screen play working. They just wanted to get it to Marshall Faulk, complete the pass, let the clock run down. Instead, Jamie throws a high ball, and anytime you throw it high and the ball's up in the air, you risk having something like this happen. This is the last thing that the Rams needed going into halftime.
To make it 27-3. And this is becoming a laugher in San Francisco for everybody but those wearing blue.
And Troy, that was just a horrible throw. I mean, you have to know the situation you're in. You have to realize that essentially you're not going to get any points. Just don't let the 49ers get any points. Here they come with a simple little screen pass. Should not be a problem at all. You just can't get it up in the air like that.
You know, and I commented earlier in the game, and last week we talked about Jamie Martin. He came in, really played well. In fact, he's played well every opportunity he's had over the course of his career, which has been limited. But when you're on the sidelines and you're the backup quarterback and the starter goes down like Kurt Warner did last week, you don't have time to think. You just get in the game and you start playing, and he played very well. Now this week, you know you're the guy. You've got the pressures of having to deal with that, preparations with game plan, dealing with the media. On top of that, as we mentioned, his wife gave birth to a baby girl. It's been a very hectic week, and you just don't know what the emotions are of all that coming into a game like this. And this obviously a big game for both teams, probably a bigger game for the Rams trying to get on the win column.
And this is, we don't want to put this all on Jamie Martin.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
This
He's
is
way
about,
down the list.
Yeah, this is about as thorough a whooping as I've seen in a long time. And the disappointing thing is it really looks like a very listless Rams team, and it sort of did to start the ball game. But when the 49ers were able to take it early in this ball game and drive it down their throat, running the football, it opened up for the passing game, and the defense really never could answer this 49ers offense.
Talked about the Rams coming into meetings yesterday confident. Little squib kick, and it's Lamar Gordon who will end up with the football. And that will end the first half. But was it confidence or just denial that 0-4 is about to turn into 0-5 for the NFC champion St. Louis Rams? The last time they've started 0-5, 1963, and everything that could go wrong in this first half has gone wrong. And again, Jamie Martin is down on the list. It's not just the backup quarterback getting only his second NFL start.
There's no question, no, and I didn't hope to imply that it was laid just at his feet, but he obviously has struggled, and the rest of this football team has struggled.
An opportunity for the Rams to climb back in the race today, but also an opportunity for the 49ers to put the Rams away. They are doing just that, not only in this game, but probably for the season.
The Visa Halftime Report is brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
And welcome to the Visa Halftime. San Francisco has lost 6 straight to the Rams, and boy, they are spanking the Rams right now by the score of 27-3. Most points the 49ers have scored this season in a game.
Donovan McNabb getting ready to do battle with the Jaguars. McNabb back, Set up, look right, pump, go back to your tight end, Chad Lewis. Great adjustment by Lewis, 4-yard score. It's 7-6, 2-point conversion. Now Burnell, play action, rolling left, guns this baby. Kyle Brady for the touchdown, a 2-yarder. 2-point conversion is good. Jaguars by a touchdown, 14-7 over the Eagles.
Broncos have yet to allow a score in the first quarter, 19-0 over the Chargers right now. Chargers undefeated. Jets in bad need of a victory, holding a 3-point lead over the Chiefs. Giants rebounding from the loss in the desert last week to Arizona and some bad decisions by the coaching staff, beating up on the Cowboys. Patrick Ramsey, the rookie for the Redskins, 2 touchdown tosses, 31-14 the victory today. Buccaneers guided by the defense up in the Falcons.
Michael Vick injured his right shoulder in that game. And Dave McGinnis, the great head coach of the Cardinals, listen to this.
Hell yes, yeah, baby. Hey! All we talk about, all we do, everything we breathe came to being out there. It came to be out there because you made it be. You made it be because of what you got inside of you. Everybody here in this room, man, how about this football team?
Yeah.
Hey, how about it, Jimmy? It brought back memories. I'd get dizzy after a speech like that.
Dolphins have now won 5 straight at home against the Patriots. Patriots dropped now to 3-2. Howie's Raiders, league leaders in offensive. Boy, look at the scoring. 49.
Drew Bledsoe.
I did too.
His second 400-yard game. Maddox getting the start for the Steelers. 3 touchdown passes, not enough as the Saints win. Bengals, Colts, Peyton Manning, Colts awfully impressive in that football game. I believe you had something to say about that Colts-Cincinnati game. Did you not? Something you were going to say?
Well, what I was saying, you know, we've talked about contraction in Major League Baseball, and I think the NFL has to start considering bringing the University of Miami on.
Rams 49ers, Jimmy.
Hey, no, I got to get on my man Aikman. And, you know, I didn't catch any of those passes in the warm-ups when he was throwing, but when I had the Hall of Famers, Terry Bradshaw and Joe Namath, they threw a little touch on the ball where I could catch him.
Hey, Troy.
Troy tried to knock me down with it.
And you two guys got fish tanks together, and you're real close.
He tried to knock me down with the ball.
My boy's got a little Doberman in him. He'll turn on you real
Some of you will go to local news. Others will come back to listen to the blonde bomber who will try his best not to spit his way through the highlights when you come back.
See what happens is I pour the paint, Troy beats the drum, and Chris watches. The 4th member of our team, Pam Oliver, allergic to Broad Dugan products, is standing by with Kurt Warner.
All right, thanks, Joe. Kurt, the Rams have gotten themselves in an awfully deep hole. How do you get out of this?
Well, we just got to keep fighting. You know, we've had a lot of bad breaks this year. You know, tip balls, interceptions. We're not finishing drives. We just got to come out and play hard, and we've got to fight ourselves out of this. We can't just lay down. We can't set it down. We've got to continue to keep fighting. We know we've got a lot of talent on this team. We can dig ourselves out of it, but we can't give up. We got to keep going.
Mood in the locker room, I could just imagine.
Guys are fired up. Guys are mad. Guys are disappointed. But we just got to keep plugging away. Things are going to turn in our favor eventually, and as long as we keep fighting. And so we got to do that. It's a tough situation now, but it's got to start right now.
All right, thanks, Kurt. Appreciate your time. Let's go back to Joe.
Thank you, Pam. It's going to be really interesting to see just how fired up these Rams are in this second half, because obviously you have to fight the urge of not laying down and saying, well, this game's over, and we're looking at 0-5, and beyond this, it gets into a free fall.
Well, they keep talking about we got to keep fighting. First, you got to start fighting, and that's been the theme each and every week. They just don't come out from the beginning playing at a high level.
This is Jackson to the 15, falls forward to the 16. That's it. Archuleta downfield to make the stop. Jeff Garcia and the offense have had some long drives, big plays, both on offense and defense. And this has been a recurring theme now for this 49er offense through the air. A short attack, a lot of short throws, but for Garcia, a lot of completions.
Yeah, a lot of completions, and that's what you'd expect when you're throwing the ball underneath. But you see nothing being thrown over 20 yards in this offense, and that's what's gotten Terrell Owens frustrated. That's what's gotten a lot of these fans here at this stadium frustrated. But Jeff Garcia, one thing about him is he is not going to force the ball. He's going to take what the defense gives him, and so far, that's been the underneath passes.
Here's another short pass, trying to get Owens involved, and Terrell is out of bounds with a first down. Why not, when you're up 27-3, make everybody happy for a little while?
And Troy, one thing about this offense is I don't care if it is Joe Montana or Steve Young or Jeff Garcia. That's the way they play it. They're going to throw those underneath passes. I mean, the stat's a little misleading in that, yes, J.J. Stokes maybe caught it within 20 yards, but it's the catch and the run that's always been the 49er offense.
Yeah, it's always been a big part of what Jerry Rice has done, and they just haven't been able to get that with this current group of receivers this year.
Toss to Garrison Hurst, running right. Trying to find a lane. He gets to the 30, a gain of 2, and let's go back down to Pam Oliver.
All right, Joe, I also talked to Steve Mariucci at halftime. I asked him, hey, Steve, how's your killer instinct? He said, good. How's yours? He also said this second half, we just got to keep playing football. One other note about the Rams, you would think Mike Martz would be screaming at his players given the way things went in the first half, and I'm told no. He just addressed the team in a calm voice and just encouraged them to keep playing.
You know, we can attest to the fact that Pam has maybe the best killer instinct of anybody in the National Football League.
She's a finisher.
Yeah, she is.
Second down and 8. Stunned up front for the Rams defense. The 49ers pick it up. And one of the best hits of the day, Travis Fisher. Say one thing. I don't know about the coverage skills of Travis Fisher. He hasn't been out there that long, but when he's been in space to make a tackle, he hits.
Well, he really has, and the guy he replaced also was a big hitter, Aeneas Williams. And you have to be, if you're going to play that cover 2 defense, you've got to be able to have some corners that'll come up and put the hit on people. And last week he showed us that against Dallas. He's doing it again here today, and really has done a nice job in the short amount of playing time that he's had.
Second round pick in this past Rams draft, and that's another problem, at least in my estimation, of where the Rams have erred leading into this season with the draft. Blitz coming again. Archuleta gets there. Adam Archuleta on the blitz, and he gets his first full sack of the year.
Well, you got Adam Archuleta there, 31, and again, we talk about it. This is what they like to do with him. They like to keep him up around the line of scrimmage in an 8-man front, occasionally blitzing him. That time he's able to get through there and make an impact and bring Garcia down, but it's one of the few occasions that they've been able to actually get pressure on Jeff Garcia.
But they did get off the field. Now that's important. Now let's see if the Rams can get anything going offensively.
This is Terrence Wilkins from the 29. He gets out to the 32, and that's it. 43-yard punt, 3-yard return. Rams have it for the first time in the second half, down by 24.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Miller Lite. Life is best told at a place called Miller Time.
27-3. The 49ers on top. And this is shades of 1995 and before for the 49ers against the Rams. Rams moving from Los Angeles to St. Louis, 1995. They start with it at their own 32. Handoff to Falk. Running left. Penalty flag on the play. Falk got out just shy of the 40, a gain of 8. And Falk slow getting up. We'll check and see why they threw the flag. It's a hold against St. Louis. Tony Corrente is going to give us the call, but I think we've let enough time go by, Troy, to where we need to respond to Jimmy Johnson.
Holding, offense, number 80. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it deserves responding, Joe, but in the event that it does, you know, I would say that I think they work on a 6-yard field down there in studio in Los Angeles, and so I would hate for him to get it any longer than that, because I know Bradshaw certainly wouldn't have been able to get the ball into Jimmy's hands. And you know, Joe Namath doesn't surprise me. He had a little zip on his ball, moved around pretty well, and showed us the quick release that he's got. But you know, Bradshaw, I thought that was a little bit of a feeble attempt. What do you think, Chris?
You know, Bradshaw's kind of getting caught in the shrapnel here.
The fact that Jimmy's bragging about these quarterbacks is something else.
First and 20. Picked off Rumpf. Penalty flag on the play. Mike Rumpf forced out of bounds inside the 5. And this may come back. It's a roughing the passer call against San Francisco.
Personal foul, roughing the quarterback, defense number 91. Late hit, more than 2 steps. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Top of your screen, Wk5. No question about it, easy call.
Well, that one you agree with, Troy.
Oh, yeah, no question. He had definitely gotten rid of the football, and Wk5, he's got to recognize that. And oh boy, what a frustrating deal, however, when your defense makes a play like that, an interception gets the ball down there to the 1-yard line, and you have to give it back on a play that really was not something that needed to take place.
And that was game, set, and match if that one stood.
27-3 with 12:09 left in the third quarter. Down the middle of the field, Manu Malayuna, who Mike Martz says has the best hands on the team. That's quite a statement, and he has a first down just inside the 35-yard line, a gain of 25.
Yeah, and Brandon Manu Malayuna, he had a very nice preseason. He made some pretty big catches in some games in those preseason games that they had, and had not been really a part of this offense from that point on. And
Wk5 and Marshall Faulk getting after it. Marshall Faulk told us at one point that blocking was his favorite thing to do, and I'm not so sure it would be top of the list anymore.
On first down, a toss to Marshall Faulk. Good effort, gain of only 1.
Well, good job by Adam Timmerman getting out in front and trying to lead that, but the problem was there was just more than one guy for him to block. Great pursuit by the 49er defense, didn't give Marshall anywhere to run the football, and that's one thing that this 49ers defense has been able to do over the last couple of years is they've got great team speed and not a real big front, not a real big defensive line or a front seven, but they run awfully well.
Rush 5. They dump it off. The Rams do to Marshall Faulk. He's brought down at the 28. Third down coming up after a gain of 6.
Can you imagine how many yards you would have thrown for with Marshall Faulk? I mean, that is and has been the Rams' best play so far this year. Breaks down in the secondary. That time Jamie Martin was trying to work the ball down the field. It wasn't there, be able to take it and just dump it. I mean, literally hand it to Marshall Faulk and watch him pick up 7 yards.
6, 7. Now it's 3rd and 4. Martin to this side of the field. The catch is made by Bruce, but he is short of a first down. Ulbrich made the stop. Bruce tried to move forward, but he was touched after sliding. And it'll be 4th down. The Rams will go for it.
Yeah, I don't think they have a choice but to go for it here. On that last play, Isaac Bruce was trying to get his depth, trying to get the depth that would allow him to catch the ball and get the first down. But Jamie Martin led him up the field. He had no choice but to lose ground in order to make the reception, and that's why they weren't able to pick the first down up on that completion.
The Rams 1 for 3 on 4th down attempts this season. And they hand inside. First down, St. Louis, as Marshall Faulk picks it up. So that'll quiet the crowd momentarily. A fresh set of downs for St. Louis. You can see Holt clapping his hands. And trying to salvage a little pride by going down the field and putting points up. After their first drive got them 3, the offense had been shut down.
Yeah, this is a real key drive right here. Obviously going for it on 4th down, but they need a touchdown on this drive.
Marshall Faulk spins his way, or was spun for a 1-yard gain. You look at the possessions. The first drive covered 60 yards, but it ended in only 3 points, as Chris mentioned, something the Rams have had trouble doing all season, getting the ball into the end zone.
And it's a little bit unfair to Jamie Martin. Here's a guy that was injured early in the preseason, really didn't play a whole lot during the exhibition season. Obviously don't get a lot of snaps when Kurt Warner was around, and now expected to come in and do everything. Just really not ready.
2nd down and 9. A nice throw and catch from Martin to Holt, and Torrey Holt brought down short of a 1st down.
And Troy, just to follow up on that point, there are really 2 different games in the National Football League. One between the 20s that you play, and you have certain game plans, and then a game plan that you have from the 20-yard line in. And it's fairly easy to come back and play between the 20s. When it gets really tough, though, is down in that red zone when decisions have to be made so much quicker.
Yeah, there's no question, and this is what really separates the great quarterbacks from the average quarterbacks, because everything happens so much faster down here, and everybody's got to be much more aware and precise on how they're doing things.
3rd down and a long one. Marshall Faulk going to try this side of the field. Now the middle of the field, and he's brought down short of a 1st down. Did everything he could, but there's no blocking there up front for Faulk.
Yeah, I think you got to be careful when you start bouncing things and trying to get back yardage. But
a little unbalanced line over here, Troy. Everybody thinking they're going to come this direction and then try and fool the 49ers by going back the other way. The problem is that the 49ers are faster than the Rams are. And how many teams could you say that about in the last couple of years?
Well, right there, I really felt that Marshall should have just tried to stick it in there and get as much as he could rather than trying to traverse his field. He lost a little yardage. Now a big 4th down play here.
4th and 2. And they stay on the ground with Faulk falling forward to pick up the 1st down. And it was that last push by Faulk that got the 1st down.
And it didn't look to me like Marshall really hit that hole full speed either. It looked like he was a little bit tentative getting in there. I know he's taking a lot of hits, and there has not been a lot of room for him to run, but he did not hit that one with the urgency that I'm accustomed to seeing him hit the hole, especially on a 4th down play.
I think you come back over here to the other side, and he just trying to bounce off. He gets hit quite a bit in there, trying to spin and make anything he could. But champions die hard. The Rams are still fighting.
Into the end zone. Holt, what a catch. Penalty flag on the play, and Holt may have pushed off. The catch was made, but I believe this could be offensive pass interference.
That's what it looked like to me, Joe. They were trying to run a little slant corner route, and Torrey got him with the elbow to get separation, and that's what they got the call on. Here's a better look. Torrey Holt working against Jason Webster, and you'll see him right here. He'll give him the elbow.
Offense, number
right
81,
there in the hand.
10-yard penalty.
Which got the separation. Here's a little better look at it there, and gave him just enough room to be able to haul that pass in.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think I would have ever caught a touchdown pass in my career if you weren't able to do that. That wasn't a whole lot, and Jamie Martin took that drilled at the end of the play.
And Faulk is over on a knee. Didn't look good after he picked up the 1st down on the 4th down carry. Another shot at the end zone, and incomplete. Isaac Bruce, the intended receiver. Plummer with good coverage.
Yeah, Med Plummer, we talked to him yesterday, and he was saying that I'm going to get up and press these guys some. He's working against Isaac Bruce, and this is just straight out man-to-man coverage. And the Rams have been wanting this situation for quite some time. They finally get it, and they're not able to take advantage of it. And they see man-to-man, one-on-one coverage so few times during the course of a ball game. You just got to be able to capitalize on it. And the few times they've had it today, they've not been able to.
Now 2nd and 20. Pass complete to Prohl. He gets it down to the 19, but way short of a 1st down, only a gain of 3. Rashad Holman made the stop.
You know, this is the exact same way that the San Francisco 49ers built their team in their initial dynasty back in '81 with Bill Walsh. They went out and they got guys in the secondary in one draft, and in the '81 draft, and rebuilt that team. A couple of years ago, Jason Webster, Ahmad Plummer come to this football team, and the difference has been stark. Not only the pressure up front, but the coverage in the secondary.
Here's Lamar Gordon, running back.
Empty backfield on 3rd and 17. The pass behind Kroll and nearly picked off by Parrish.
Well, you got to give the San Francisco defense credit. I mean, they're doing a heck of a job and mixing things up. And Jim Mora Jr., the architect behind this defense and the defensive coordinator, has done a nice job of changing up the schemes and keeping this Rams offense off balance. There's Jim Mora there.
Why wouldn't he be smiling after the job that his defense has done against this Rams team?
That and his wife just delivered a baby girl herself this week.
37-yard try. Wilkins is true. And it's a 27-6. San Francisco lead with 5 left, 3rd quarter. San Francisco defense has done a good job when they've been tested inside the red zone today. Only 2 Jeff Wilkins field goals. Falk is at least up and moving around. Doesn't appear to be feeling all that great. And Wilkins tries to pop it for a chance for the Rams to end up with it, and instead it goes out of bounds, and the 49ers will take it at their own 40.
Kickoff out of bounds.
So that's where they'll start. The 49ers have it. 21-point lead. Good field position for Garcia and company. The offensive leaders for the 49ers so far in this one. Garcia's thrown for 153 yards. Hurst 68 yards, and J.J. Stokes has had the better day yardage-wise, at least, with his 2 catches and a touchdown. That's Barlow. Out to the 46. Down to Los Angeles. James Brown.
Hey, Joe, and swing you over to Tennessee and take a look at what the Redskins found. Their rookie quarterback, Patrick Ramsey, had an outstanding day. 20 of 34, 298 yards, 2 touches, including that one to Kevin Lockett. Washington wins at 31-14, and I think he almost was traded. Back to Joe.
Boy, he threaded the needle on that throw.
He played off it well, no question about it. Great win by the Redskins.
And JB's a happy guy right now.
2nd down and 4. That's Owens. Just throws Dre Bly away and ends up with a 49er first down. Let's go down to the sideline and Pam Oliver.
All right, Joe, if the Rams are somehow able to get back in this, they may have to do it without their best offensive weapon. Marshall Faulk is suffering from muscle spasms in his back. He got twisted up in the pile. His return is uncertain at this time. Back to you.
All right, Pam.
Well, I think that explains on that 4th down carry that he had. I think it happened probably on the play before that, why he was running so tentatively.
From the Ram 48. Barlow trying to outrun the defense. Jamie Duncan with the last hit, gain of only 2. The early game headliners. The New Orleans Saints are off to a 4-1 record. Best start since '93. The Patriots, their 2nd straight loss after 12 wins going back to last season. And the Raiders 4-0. They scored 21 unanswered points to win their game today.
So who is the best team in the NFC? 49ers? Eagles?
The Eagles are trailing in Jacksonville. 2nd down and 8. Garcia steps up and hits his tight end Johnson. First down, San Francisco. What doesn't look right about the standings in the NFC West? San Francisco on their way to 3-1, but look where St. Louis is, and look where the football Cardinals are.
How about that? Who would have ever believed that one? And they really needed to get it going out there because they were really on the brink of becoming the West Coast version of the Bengals.
First down.
Right, Baltimore.
Owens. The ball pops out and they're saying incomplete.
Well, Dre Bly got a little revenge on Terrell Owens that time. we were talking about something else, but remember the play along the sideline there where Terrell Owens caught the ball and just threw like a right hook and knocked down Dre Bly. So this time Dre Bly comes back in with a little right hook of his own and took care of Terrell Owens.
Still wasn't quite the same shot that Owens delivered on him, but I tell you, Terrell Owens, he can't complain today about not getting the ball thrown to him. He's got 6 receptions. He's had some other opportunities, that being one of them on that last play, and he's had a nice game.
Rams are showing blitz, and they back out of it. Barlow, nowhere to go. Don Davis first there, no gain. Terrell Owens, his ups and his downs. Go back to '99, the wild card game. Steve Young to Terrell, 25-yard touchdown with 3 seconds left. Then the celebration in Dallas, taunting the Cowboys. How about 20 catches in the year 2000 against the Bears to set a new NFL record? And then week 3 of this season, upset about the kneel downs at the end of the Redskins game. 3rd down and 10. Garcia finding the tight end and a first down for San Francisco. Adam Archuleta with the tackle on Eric Johnson.
Tell you what, that's just a great job by Eric Johnson being able to find the zone, and he was a wide receiver in college, and he's had to make some adjustments as far as being able to find these. It's a little bit different for a tight end, but he does a great job right there of being able to get in between the linebackers in that window, and Jeff Garcia spotting him, and no question Garcia's got confidence in Eric Johnson. He was the leading receiver coming into this game for the team.
First down. Barlow down to the 16-yard line.
Talked about Kevin Barlow and what he did in the offseason working out with Terrell Owens, and Terrell Owens said, you know, Barlow is one of those guys that every once in a while I'd find the candy wrapper down in the bottom of the car. You know, you try, they had a nutritionist, you know, and they had him eating all that bad food that Howie Long likes to eat all the time that just about drive you nuts. But it really paid off for him. He got leaner, he got quicker, he got faster, and he's healthy. And he wasn't healthy a season ago, and he's really become a pretty good weapon for the 49ers.
Is that the same program you're on, Chris?
Yeah, 24 hours a day, man.
2nd down and 4. A little end around to Owens. Almost like the 49ers are saying, all right, Terrell, you want action? Here's action. We're going to get you the ball on quick throws, on end arounds. You will have the ball in your hands. And for the most part today, the 49ers have had the ball in their hands. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with a score 27-6 San Francisco. The NFL on Fox will continue after a word from your local Fox station. Baseball coming up later tonight on Fox, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. The Braves and the Giants, game 4. Braves up 2-1. Who will meet? The St. Louis Cardinals in the National League Championship Series. Congratulations to them. And what a year for Tony La Russa guiding that team to the NLCS. They have overcome a lot. No flags on the field as the pass is incomplete. Leonard Little got some pressure on Jeff Garcia, who threw out of the reach of Streets, and now we'll see the field goal unit for the 49ers head onto the field.
It's one of the few passes we've seen Jeff Garcia miss. Ty Streets made a nice little in and out move on the outside, and really it was a pretty easy pitch and catch, and Jeff just missed it.
32-yard try here for Cortez. 7 out of 9 field goal tries for Cortez. Nothing to it. 30-6 San Francisco. Opening seconds of the 4th quarter.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 37. By Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be. By Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Be you, nothing's better, Dr. Pepper. And by Cadillac, bold vehicles defying convention.
mentioned earlier that Dana Stubblefield, who we just saw back in '95, said same old Rams. Well, it has been 6 in a row for the Rams coming into this one, defeating their former West Coast rival after having lost 17 in a row to San Francisco. It looks like the 49ers are going to try to start a new streak as Terrence Wilkins busts free and gets to the 45 before he is brought down. Rashad Holman made the tackle. Good return by Wilkins. Martin and the offense back to work, down by 24. A 24-point lead for San Francisco. The last time St. Louis trailed by 24 points was the 2000 wild card loss at New Orleans. The Rams trailed 31-7 and lost 31-28 when Oz Hakeem fumbled a punt. Boy, do the Rams miss Oz Hakeem. Boy, do the Rams miss London Fletcher. Screen pass is knocked down. Julian Peterson got his hand up. Go back to the kickoff, and Jimmy Williams.
Little Benny Hill for everybody.
How can you hear that music and not picture Benny Hill smacking Jackie Wright on top of the head? The little bald guy.
How do you know his name?
Dave Schwabe up here in the booth.
There you go. Confession.
Falk is back in, bad back and all. You have to have good people around you, Chris.
I hear you. One of these days I will.
There's Falk. And up his back, there's Holman. And then you got Steve Horn in the booth. And I know, Troy, this is your first opportunity to spend time with an editorial consultant and an information guy. And you're learning really now how the NFL works.
Well, I really am. I don't know how we would have gotten to this point in the season without the expertise and information that Steve Horn's been able to provide us.
It's my guy. He is with me everywhere I go. We'll be headed off to baseball after this, and I will leave you with Dick Stockton. I'll miss you, but you'll be in good hands. 3rd down and 8 from midfield. Martin steps up, and that thing just left his hand awkwardly. Looked like it slipped out. Holt, the intended receiver, and now the fans starting to have fun as Owens nearly came up with a catch from Jamie Martin.
Yeah, and right now there's just nothing happening with this Rams offense to suggest that there's any chance of them being able to move the football and try to make a game out of this. And Jamie Martin back there holding it, not real sure where he's going to go with the football. And I got to be honest with you, though, there's not a lot of guys running around the field in the secondary getting open either.
This is like watching a JV team or something for a good high school. You know, they got the same uniforms on, but it's not the same.
All the injuries, and it's a long list of Pro Bowl caliber players as that punt heads into the end zone. But I'll say this, the team wasn't playing well when a lot of those injured players were on the field. Back to Benny Hill and Jackie Wright and Jamie Martin and Terrell Owens. What a day by the Bay. 36 49ers.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet? By Sprint. Introducing PCS Vision. Clearly a whole new way to look at wireless. And by GMC. We are a professional grade.
I know we're back. 1st down 49ers. With the ball and a 24-point lead. Garrison Hurst. He's still running hard. Gets to the 25-yard line, a gain of 5. Terrell Owens and his new best buddy, Dre Bly, going one-on-one.
Well, Terrell Owens, he obviously had a good day today. He's caught a lot of balls, but you know, you got to give your hat off to Dre Bly. he's got in there and he's battled with him. He hasn't always made the play, but he's been scrapping as best he can. And as we talked about, definite size advantage to Terrell Owens.
What do you think about Terrell Owens' comments last week about no killer instinct on top of what he said about Steve Mariucci a couple of years ago in that Chicago game?
First, a second down and 5 carry, a first down for Garrison Hurst. Up to the 48, 49-yard line. Hold that thought. We go to Los Angeles and check in with James Brown on a game break.
Hey, Joe, New Orleans improved to 4-1 on the strength of runs like this by Deuce McAllister. 23 carries, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. His third 100-yard game this season. Pittsburgh drops to 1-3. And hey, Chris, Terry says he misses you, but Jimmy Johnson is now producing the show. He reminds him of you. Back to you guys.
He can't do it as well as I did, though, JB. Bet you never heard any Benny Hill back in the studio either.
First down and 10. Ball up at the San Francisco 49. Game that's been dominated on the ground by the 49ers. This is Owens. A leap and a catch. What a catch by Terrell Owens.
That was a great catch, but it was a heck of a throw, too, by Jeff Garcia. Seems like every time Jeff Garcia drops back to throw, he's getting pressure in his face, and he is once again. He's really not able to set up the way that he'd like. And they had the cover 2 coverage where they had 2 guys on Terrell Owens, but Garcia's able to fit it in there over Dre Bly again.
And did you see Terrell Owens on the way back to the huddle looking over at Mariucci saying, see, I told you, just throw it up in the air. I'll catch it. You don't need a good play. Just throw it up there.
Good. First down. That's Streets. And he makes the effort leaping forward, but a yard shy of a first down. Travis Fisher made the tackle.
Yeah, I think Travis Fisher and Dre Bly, when this game's over, I think they need to go soak in a hot tub somewhere.
They're out of their weight class.
Well, when you look at the 49ers, as Fisher got away with a face mask there, you look at the 49ers, it seems like they have drafted, whether they want to admit it or not. Rumpf at least admitted it, that when he got drafted here, all he heard about was the Rams, and now they were building for the Rams. If you're trying to stop this 49er team, and you can't match up size-wise on the outside, the 49ers have taken advantage of the height difference all day. First down carry by Garrison Hurst. Bill O'Reilly factors the growing threat in Iraq. The president speaks to the nation. What will be our next course of action in the war on terror? Watch the O'Reilly Factor. It's news as a contact sport on the Fox News Channel. Check your local listings.
Joe, and I think what you said is the 49er organization, they've not hidden that fact. They've been very actually vocal about the fact that, you know, when you're in a division and there's a team that's running away with it, in this case the Rams over the last 3 years, and that's who you've got to beat first before you can expect to go on and do bigger things like winning Super Bowls. And so everything you do then is geared towards beating that club.
Garcia underthrows Owens. James Brown is busy today in Los Angeles. Another game break.
And Philadelphia's 3-game win streak in danger of being snapped. A 11-play, 79-yard drive by Brunell and company. Stacey Mack takes it across. 21-10 Jacksonville over Philadelphia. Back to Joe, Troy, Chris, and Pam.
Possible tie atop the NFC East between Philadelphia and the Giants, who won today at Dallas. Second down and 10. Delayed handoff to Hurst. Over 100 yards on the day and a touchdown. The 49ers just running over the Rams, literally.
And Garrison Hurst over 100 yards with that run. And you look outside, Ty Streets here does a great job of blocking and allowing Garrison Hurst to get the extra yards.
I don't see anybody lacking a killer instinct today. Cortez for the point after. $37-6. The feet of Hurst, the legs of Hurst. Another touchdown, San Francisco, and the 49ers having fun. The offensive line for the 49ers blocked well enough today for Garcia to have a nice day through the air. Garrison Hurst to go over 100 yards. And by the way, it's the first time a back has gone over the century mark against the Rams defense since December 18th of 2000. Warwick Dunn did it for Tampa Bay with 145 yards on Monday night. Wilkins out to the 24. Oh, so much to talk about. Where do these two teams go from here? We'll start knocking that around when we come back.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Saturn, makers of The View, the redesigned L Series, and coming this fall, the all-new Ion.
$37-6, San Francisco. A long day for the Rams offense, only 6 points on the board. As Falk spins his way forward to the 27, a gain of 3. "1,000 feet above," aerial coverage of today's game in the surrounding Bay Area being provided by the Saturn Lightship. Saturn and its retailers hope you're enjoying this NFL game. The 49ers fans are. St. Louis Rams fans are wondering what has happened to this team that was picked by many to end up in the Super Bowl again, as Falk lowers his head and gets a first down.
Yeah, and it's obvious watching the Rams now on offense that they're going to be pretty content not winning this football game, and they've ran the ball the last 2 plays. Probably a big part of that is not wanting to expose Jamie Martin on too many hits from the San Francisco line.
I mean, you can only imagine what's going through the mind of Mike Martz and Kurt Warner and Marshall Falk and these guys that have just run through the National Football League for the last 3 years and now just getting destroyed.
Marshall Falk has had 3 carries in a row, and he gets 2 yards. And what happens here? Troy, you were part of, I won't say a similar situation, but you were part of a very good run, one of the best that the NFL has seen over the past 20, 30 years, with your teams in Dallas in the early to mid 90s, and then it starts to slide away. What are the Rams facing right now?
Well, and that's the biggest thing is that as an organization, they have to evaluate exactly where they are, because I can tell you from firsthand knowledge, once it starts going south, it goes south in a hurry. We went from winning a Super Bowl to the following year winning 1 playoff game, and then we were done. We went 6-10 the second season. It happens very quickly.
Marshall Falk. He gets out to the 43-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down.
And Joe, that's not to suggest that these Rams are finished by any means. I still think that they've got a very talented group of players, but you know what's in store for the rest of this year. They start out the season 0-5. I can tell you that it's highly unlikely that they go on to even reach the playoffs. So they know that as players, they know that as coaches. That's a disappointment then for the rest of the season. But you know, where do you go from there? And I think those are the questions that Mike Martz has got to ask, and Charlie Army and this whole group of people as they assemble this thing for next year.
The Rams organization just rewarded Mike Martz with a 5-year contract before the start of the season. Marshall Falk makes the catch, slides down with a first down.
But I think what's disappointing today is that we've seen every one of the Rams games so far this year, broadcast 3 of them, and in all those games they've come out fighting. You know, it's been down to the 4th quarter. They didn't make a play. They had a bad break, whatever the case may be. But today it just wasn't the case. Today they came out and really just got mauled from the very beginning. And I know there are a lot of people out of this ball game for this Rams team, but this was all or nothing today. This was essentially a playoff game for Marshall Falk and the St. Louis Rams, and just didn't seem too interested from the start.
Now the 49ers.
San Francisco is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass.
The 49ers unwilling to let one go by. They think that Falk dropped that ball before securing it, and instead of getting the first down, it would be an incomplete pass, 4th down. So you have to ask the question, is Steve Mariucci answering his critic, Terrell Owens?
Well, it's
I mean, that's part of the tape we were just sent by the NFL. If in the act of making the catch you go down to the ground, you have got to maintain control of the football. You have to be able to make another quote-unquote football act. They should overturn that.
Right. That should be an incompletion. And you're exactly right, Joe, that once you have the ball, you have to make a football act. And with that meaning catch the ball and turn upfield 2 steps or whatever it may be. Here he does not make that so-called football act. He goes down, the ball comes out. When he hits the turf, that should be an incompletion.
Chris, Marshall Falk at the end of that play got his neck tweaked one more time. Don't forget he came into this game with a sore neck, and you could see just by the way he was going back on the ground, that wasn't too pleasant of an experience either.
Well, Chris, the 3 of us had a game in St. Louis in the preseason where we were mistaken, thinking that even though a catch was made in the end zone, feet were down. On the way down, the ball came out when he hit. It was a Chicago Bear receiver. This is no catch according to the NFL rules, where while going to the ground in the process of making the catch, the ball comes out. This should be incomplete.
You are a rules guru. From now on, I am deferring to you on all rules situations.
Can I just beg you to please not do that?
I'm telling you, this is a football rules guru right here. And we may not give you up to Tim McCarver.
Don't do it. Don't make that mistake.
You know, you were talking earlier about the Rams coming out with some emotion and all that other stuff, and they've been talking about, hey, we need to get back to having more fun, and it begs to ask the question, you know, when do you have fun? Do you have fun when you win, or do you have fun and then you win? And I can promise you, when you're not winning, it's not a lot of fun.
After reviewing the play, the St. Louis receiver lost the football upon hitting the ground. Therefore, it is an incomplete pass. The down will be 4th. The distance will be 4 yards from the 44-yard line. San Francisco will not be charged with a timeout.
Steve Mariucci is hot with these challenges. He had 2 last week in the ball game that really made a difference, and now 1 for 1 here today. Hey, he's hitching his pants. Yeah, see, I told you I'm like Joe Buck. I know my rules.
You can look down in the field now, and I just saw a Trung candidate and Ahmed Plummer shake hands like, hey, nice job. Thanks for coming. Hope you enjoyed the Bay Area. Mitch Berger has one slide off the end of his foot. I don't know if it was touched or if that was an unforced error. And all phases of the game are ugly for the Rams today. The 49ers 3 for 3 on challenges. Everything's working. Barry Bonds getting in his hacks. Early batting practice for the San Francisco Giants. They're getting ready to take on the Atlanta Braves. Game 4. The Giants facing elimination, trying to force Game 5 tomorrow night here on Fox, back in Atlanta. Livan Hernandez and Tom Glavine. Giants in a spot where they have to try and beat Glavine twice in the best-of-5 series. Garcia, that'll be his day. 214 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. And Tim Rattay from Louisiana Tech, the real quarterback university. Hands off. That's Kevin Barlow, a 2-yard pickup. That's where Terry Bradshaw went.
It is.
So now it's Tim Rattay. Here is a 7th-round pick. There are 2 starting 7th-round picks for the 49ers today. And you look at that phase of it for the Rams and some of the mistakes and the errors they've made, thinking, well, we're good now. We'll just start taking on projects and teaching players new positions. And now they're looking for help on the offensive line. They're thin in a lot of areas as Rattay overthrows Owens. And now Garcia saying, all right, Terrell, start yelling at Tim Rattay. Let's go back to James Brown in Los Angeles, standing by with a game break.
Hey, Joe Buck, Jacksonville continuing to pile on Philadelphia. Take a look at Bobby Shaw on this punt return. Terry Bradshaw said, in fact, that Philadelphia would lose. In fact, they're doing it. 69 yards of pay dirt, 28-10 Jacksonville. Back to Joe Buck.
All right, James Brown.
Rain Man got another one.
3rd down and 8. And a handoff to Hurst. Nothing. Up to the 40, got less than half a yard. Ryan Pickett made the stop. You go back 2 years ago, the Rams had 3 first-round picks. There's one of them, Pickett. Damian Lewis, who they've had a tough time getting on the field because of a foot problem, which, by the way, he had in college. And Adam Archuleta, who they're really waiting to take the next step. They know he can handle the run, but handling pass coverage schemes from the safety spot has been a challenge.
Well, yeah, and the key for any football team in the league is still being able to draft well. You've got to build your team through the draft, and anytime you think you're going to fill holes through free agency, you're paying for somebody else's mistakes.
Line drive for Wilkins. And a fumble as they try to reverse. Troy Edwards finally gets to touch the ball. Garrison Hurst has had a big day. Over 100 yards. Here's a guy who had 1,200 yards a year ago, and now he's splitting more time in the backfield with Barlow. And he has been tough to handle for the Rams defense.
Just a remarkable story, isn't it, Troy? I mean, here's a guy that was out of football for 2 years with that ankle injury. They really never thought he'd be able to play again. Some question whether he'd even be able to walk again. And here he is back, 2-time comeback player of the year and playing better than ever.
From their own 19, Lamar Gordon running left. And there's just nowhere to run. Derek Smith, the first to hit him, a loss of 2 on the play.
Well, there's nowhere to run, and they're going to get these guys killed unless this offensive line gets it going a little bit. And right now, San Francisco, and there's no question that when you got a lead like this, that guys are going to fly around a little bit harder and all that. But the Rams, you know, I got to tell you, each week we hear how they're going to come out and they're going to fight and they're going to battle. And, you know, here's a great opportunity to show what this team is made of. All we've heard is the character on this team. And so far to me, they've not shown in today's game.
2nd down. That's Ricky Prohl. And he is thrown out of bounds at the 24. Ulbrich was there, the linebacker, a gain of 7.
Boy, have they done a job of remaking this defense, though. I mean, this defense never was like this a couple of years ago. They were really almost an embarrassment. And Troy's talked about the speed that they've added. Salim Rashid, Andre Carter, Jason Webster, Ahmed Plummer, Julian Peterson, right down the board. Just a much quicker team all the way down, almost like in college when Nebraska kept getting beat by the University of Miami and Florida State went out and changed their philosophy. So have the 49ers, just to match this team.
3rd down and 5 and a toss to Gordon. He can run. He gets smacked. Zach Bronson put Darian Gordon on his back. Gordon ends up at the 42 after a gain of 18. Lamar Gordon was just crunched by Zach Bronson.
Listen to this one. I want to get that head on a swivel next time.
You made me hurt with those sounds you're making over here. Thought you threw your back out there for a minute.
I'm a little sore, you know. At the chiropractor, I go home.
1st and 10. Gordon. He's out to the 49. You know, this is going to be another week, guys, where the Rams are going to go through an entire day, and we're going to see nothing of Terrence Wilkins on the offense. He's done a great job returning punts and kicks, and nothing from Troy Edwards, who they made a trade to get. The offense is so complex that bringing people in midstream, even at the start of the year, they can't catch up with what Mike Martz is trying to do.
I just can't understand. I mean, I know the offense has some problems and their offensive line, the whole thing. The one that really surprised me this year, though, has been the defense. I just thought that they were really ready to be even better than what they were last year. And they were pretty doggone good last year. But on offense, and we talked to Mike Martz about it a little bit last night, with the problems they've had with protection, this was a team that never really had to pass protect. They kept their 5 interior linemen in there, and they were able to send a lot of people out into the pattern. But then obviously Orlando Pace out, John St. Clair trying to fill in for Ryan Tucker, who left. Just has never been the same offense because of some of those protection issues.
Gordon picks up a first down, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. How about a baseball score for you? Minnesota leading in the top of the 9th at Oakland 4-1, trying to move to the ALCS. What a satisfying day this must be for the San Francisco 49ers. Trading hats with a young fan. Just for a moment.
Well, people always ask me whether or not I miss playing, and I miss winning. I miss those moments right there. That's what it's all about.
You consider this offense hadn't really gotten it rolling up until today, and then to get on track against the Rams of all teams, as that catch is not made, incomplete, Holt out of bounds. Bill Walsh has been part of the rebuilding effort around here. 3 Super Bowl championships. And somebody posed a question earlier, who's the best team in the NFC? It may very well be the San Francisco 49ers.
I think it is, based on what we've seen with the defense. And of course, Bill Walsh so instrumental in getting Jeff Garcia here. He always liked him, always wanted to bring him in, traded away Ty Detmer, and I'm not sure that was a real popular decision at the time, to open up room for Garcia. And Garcia really has shocked everybody, I think, in the NFL with his play over the last 3 years.
Gordon falls forward for a gain of 2. Remember, baseball's coming up here on Fox. Gary Sheffield and the Atlanta Braves trying to close out the division series against the San Francisco Giants, up 2-1. Otherwise, the scene will shift to Atlanta for tomorrow night's Game 5. And if Atlanta wins, they will host the Cardinals starting on Wednesday. San Francisco wins, and that would have to happen tomorrow night. They'll start in St. Louis. And the offensive line getting congratulatory handshakes, and they should, for the job they've done today. Gordon, nice catch, beautiful throw from Martin over the shoulder, and Lamar Gordon has a first down. The San Francisco 16.
Really the turning point of the season for the San Francisco 49ers. This is a nice catch here by Lamar Gordon. May well have been where Derek Deese went in there and insisted they start running the football more. But since that moment, this offense has really awakened.
Rams are on the move, trying to get into the end zone for the first time today. The offensive line for the 49ers today, 180 yards on the ground and only 1 sack allowed. 58 seconds remaining. Martin is smacked, and it falls incomplete. And Martin a little slow getting up. He's been hit a lot today.
Oh, both guys really have been hit a lot, but Jamie Martin seems like every time he thinks he's got a shot at somebody, he tries to get set up and he takes a pretty good blow, and they can ill afford to lose him. And that's why I thought earlier they were running the ball the way that they were, but now on this drive here, they've allowed him to throw some passes, and he's taking some punishment also.
Why can they ill afford to lose him?
Well, the optimist in me says they might actually win a game at some point.
All right.
53 seconds left. Manu Malayuna's second catch of the day. Today's game being produced by Richie Science and directed by Artie Kempner. The associate directors are Greg Scopatoni and Derek Manning. Broadcast associates are Jacob Ullman and Jeremy Green. The technical director is Rich Basili. Technical producer is Dave Hill. The audio mixer is Fred Aldis. Pre-game show is produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Associate director is Jennifer Love. The studio technical supervisor is Jonathan X. The senior producer at Fox Sports is Bill Brown, and the executive producers Ed Gorn and David Hill. 3rd and 5 for the Rams. Little play action. Martin over the middle. Catch is made. Isaac Bruce trying to find the end zone. Laterals, and it's Timmerman who ends up with a football.
The play of the day. All right. Finally, a little excitement out of this Rams offense.
It looked like Bruce had the first down, and then after the lateral, Timmerman was brought down shy of the first down, and the Rams have to use a timeout.
Yeah, there are a lot of guys on this Rams offense with some real speed and ability, but I'm not so sure Adam Timmerman falls into that category.
My man Adam Timmerman running to darkness here.
I think he was just shocked at what just landed in his hands.
So about a yard shy of a first down.
I say run it again.
We also want to thank Steve Kleinfeld, who is in the booth with us doing our stats. There's the score, top of the ninth, Minnesota 4-1 over Oakland. So the favored Oakland Athletics are in danger of being bounced, and it will be a Minnesota-Anaheim ALCS. You want some new blood? There's some new blood.
How about Anaheim? That one surprised you how easy that was for them?
Well, I tell you, the pitching for the New York Yankees, they sent 4 guys out there, and they all 4 got hit and hit hard. An aging staff, and it showed. Gordon, touchdown, all alone. Even though this is Jamie Martin's first start of the year, he now has 2 touchdown passes to Kurt Warner's 1 after that. Terrell Owens is still mad, frowning over on the sideline. How can we let the Rams in the end zone? That was going to be part of his post-game speech. We held him out of the end zone, and we just wiped him all over the field, but he can't say that anymore.
There's my buddy.
A 37-13 San Francisco lead. So the Rams do break the tape and get into the end zone.
All right, now I want you to answer the question what you think about Terrell Owens and some of the comments he made last week about no killer instinct and kind of jumping on Mariucci and the whole deal. Now here's a guy, he's a competitive guy, he's a great player, but he doesn't always say the right thing.
No, and I agree with that completely. I think Mariucci did the right thing against the Redskins, regardless of what happened in the preseason, that you got him down, and that's part of what you do in this league. You don't try to embarrass anybody, and as much sometimes as players want to, I think Mariucci made the right decision, and I think that Terrell Owens was out of line in his comments and his reaction to that. And there's no question that Terrell Owens is an outstanding football player. He's a great athlete and does a lot for this team, but there are times when Terrell has let his competitiveness and his enthusiasm and his excitement get him in trouble.
And you know, I appreciate what he does on the field, because I was the same way, and I've got to tell you, it's not easy being a wide receiver, because you have to wait for the coach to call the play, you have to wait for the knucklehead quarterback to finally throw it to you, and you can get frustrated out there at times. And I was the worst. I was screaming at everybody, the coach, the quarterback. I was never happy. But once you leave the field and you stand in front of the media, you got to let it go. You got to let it go.
29 seconds left. Wilkins with a short kick. Cedric Wilson from inside the 10. Foot race, and Wilson is not going to be candidate. The record to start a season, you go back to '99 when they picked up Marshall Faulk, 6-0 beginning. 6-0, 6-0, and they'll be 0-5 at the end of the day, and they will host Oakland next week.
Yeah, and the only ones, I mean, I can tell you from this is that the only ones who are going to believe in that team right there are those guys that you just saw. They're on the sidelines, the guys that go to work every day in that locker room, because outside of those walls, everybody's going to want to bring them down and keep talking about how bad they are. They've got to find it in themselves if they're going to somehow try to salvage this season.
This was their shot today to salvage that season, and they didn't put forth much of a fight.
15 seconds and counting. Big day for San Francisco. Good day for the offense. The defense impressive. And the 49ers on top in the NFC West with a record of 3-1, while the Rams will limp home 0-5 for a date with Oakland. We will take a break, come back here, and wrap up a long day of football. A good day of football for Garrison Hurst and that 49er offense. 37-13 the final. Back in a moment. Satisfying day for Jeff Garcia and the 49ers as they move to 3-1 with a thorough beating of the St. Louis Rams, their rival. 37-13 the final. This is Joe Buck for Troy Aikman, Chris Collinsworth, and Pam Oliver. So long from San Francisco. Right now we're going to take you to bonus coverage of the Eagles and Jaguars. Let's join Sam Rosen and Bill Moss for the.
All right, Sam, thank you very much. Barry Bonds, no complaining about what he's attempting to do in the postseason. 2 home runs, but the Giants find themselves trailing 2-1 to the Atlanta Braves in the National League Division Series. Gary Sheffield being pitched around. He does have 1 home run, but they have been pitching around him. The rest of the Braves bats, though, have done the job. That game will be coming up following this in just a few moments as we welcome you back out to Fox Field and get you caught up on football scores from around the National Football League. And let's do that right now.
All right, Emmitt Smith, Jerry Jones, this man here is going for the all-time rushing record. Out of the eye, up the middle, breaks 1 tackle, 2 tackle, 3 tackles. Take it 30 yards, Emmitt. Thank you very much, TV. I believe it will. Touchdown, Cowboys, 7-all. And then Collins back. Marcellus, Rivers, crossing route, man-to-man coverage. There's your touchdown, 21-17. Giants over the Cowboys is your final.
Bouncing back from the loss in the desert last week, the Giants.
Redskins, Danny Werfel hoping to get things going. Good for him. Injures his shoulder, leaves this game. In comes rookie Patrick Ramsey into the corner for Rod Gardner. 20-yard touchdown pass. Skins up by 3, 10-7. Fourth quarter, Patrick Ramsey back. Laterals this pass to Kevin Lockett. Drops it, picks it up, and then chunks it downfield. 14-yard touchdown. Stephen Davis, 31-14. Skins go to 2-2 on the season. Michael Vick, injured right shoulder, has to leave this football game. Brad Johnson back to Keyshawn Johnson. Man-to-man coverage, tight coverage on the outside. Blitz coverage 76 yards later. Tampa Bay 10-6. And then Doug Johnson is intercepted by Warren Sapp. Then laterals to Derek Brooks, who JB likes to point out has 2 more touchdowns on the season. That does Keyshawn Johnson. Your final 20-6. Tampa Bay over
and
Atlanta.
I got that information from you. The defense again leading the way. Panthers lose to the Cardinals 16-13. Dave McGinnis almost blew a fuse in a post-game celebration. New England and Miami.
Take it, JB.
All right, well, Miami pulled it off. TB, where's your highlights? As we take a look at Jay Fiedler running this touchdown for the Miami Dolphins. 5th consecutive victory at home against New England.
Tom Brady back to pass, looking for Donald Hayes, picked off by Sam Madison. Brady, 2 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions. They lose 2 in a row. Dolphins back on the winning ways, 26-13 over New England. Buffalo Bills, Drew Bledsoe.
What did you do, TB?
I don't know. I lost my notes. Take it away, JB.
He gets picked off by Phillip Buchanan, who returns it 81 yards to Payne.
Very good.
Oakland, Howie's team, leading scoring team in the National Football League.
3 interceptions on the day for Bledsoe. Bills lose 49-31. Exciting football game.
I love honesty in the highlights. Who is that?
That's Elvis. Thank you very much, baby.
All right.
Thank you. Back comes my man, McAllister. Deuce, that is. Takes it to the outside. Take it all the way. Touchdown. Saints. Tommy Maddox starting for Cordell Stewart. Hands off up the middle. Jerome Bettis. Touchdown. How's that? No notes. Just pick that baby out of the air. Saints 32-29.
Don't pack yourself on back too hard.
All right, I won't. Move your hands,
Colts winning that one 28-21. Who picked that? I picked that game, did I not?
Nice
sure
job.
did. Jimmy thinks they ought to contract the Bengals, right? Jaguars upending the Eagles 28-25. Eagles leading scoring team in the NFC. Jaguars second fewest points allowed in the AFC defensively. 49ers, hey, Terrell Owens, no complaining about a killer instinct here. 37-13 over the Rams, who are now 0-5.
Jets back. Chad Pennington to Beck. 2-yard touchdown, 2-point attempt would be good. 15-13 to Jets. Trent Green then connects with Donde Hall. 60-yard touchdown, JB. Nice job. Ties the game at 22-all. And then Trent Green, 2. Priest Holmes, 19-yard touchdown. He takes it in. Second touchdown of the day for Holmes. 29-25. Chiefs over the Jets. Chiefs got it going now.
San Diego and Denver. San Diego.
Future Hall of Famer StL, great linebacker, out with a sprained ankle. Brian Greasy, once again, the great route of Jimmy. Ed McCaffrey on a crossing route, 69-yard touchdown. It's Denver off and running 7-0, and then Greasy shove a pass to Portis, the running back, 8-yard touchdown, 26-9. Broncos impressive after last week losing to the Ravens 26-9.